Hey guys, I'm Rachel with Rachel Alvarado Nutrition, and today I'm going to talk about my own personal story and how I lost weight and have kept it off now for almost 15 years. So I'm really excited to tell you about kind of my journey, and I hope you're able to get something from it. And I'll give you a few tips on what really worked the best for me because it might work well for you. In fact, I bet it will because it also works really well for most of my clients. Okay, so before I get started, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, okay, so my personal journey. Now, I lost about 40 pounds. And so I was overweight in like high school. That's when I really, I was a little overweight, and then definitely like high school, and then like especially the end of high school. So by the time I graduated, that was my heaviest. And so, I didn't feel really great in my body. I felt cumbersome. I felt fatigued easily. I felt really out of control with food. I used food to comfort myself. It was like my escape. And so I really just had an overall unhealthy relationship with food. And as a result, I was overweight and I didn't like being overweight. And I had really, for the most part, supportive friends and family. So they never said anything or made me feel bad. So I never really had social criticism, which I know a lot of times people can deal with, and that's really awful. But I was fortunate enough that I never got that from my family. So that was good, but I didn't feel good in my body. I hated feeling out of control around food, and I hated just not feeling good in my body. Like I said, I felt cumbersome, and like just walking. Like I would walk a lot, but I knew I would feel more comfortable being active and like just simply walking if I had less weight. I also hated clothes shopping, and I was just pretty unhappy overall in general, and then also particularly with my body and how I felt within it. So then I moved out of the house and I went to college. And that really is where I started my whole experimenting and trying different things to lose weight. Some things were less healthy than others, but I went on this journey and I started losing weight. And sometimes it would be in unhealthy ways, like very restrictive, but a lot of things weren't unhealthy, but I kind of had to play with it and see what really worked. And so here are some of the things that really worked for me and helped me lose weight and actually keep it off. Because I was just reading this article or this study recently, and it showed that only 20% of people who lose weight are able to keep it off for over a year. Only 20% of people who lose weight are able to keep it off for over a year, which blew my mind. So since I have kept it off for almost 15 years now, I really wanted to talk to you about what that's like, and how you can also do the same thing. So first of all, when I was finding what worked and what didn't work, one of the things that worked best for me was realizing that I wasn't in it for some sort of temporary diet. Like fad diets, no, fad diets didn't work. I might lose a little bit of weight, but then it was never sustainable. It would always just come right back. So if it is a fad diet, stay away. It will not serve you. I also learned that counting calories really sucks. Not going to happen. I couldn't do it. I'm capable of counting calories, but it sucks. Who wants to do that? Who wants to count every calorie of every bite? No. So what I found was, instead of counting my calories, just making better food choices overall. So you don't have to count how many calories is in your salad. You just need to make sure that you're choosing nutrient-dense food. That was probably the biggest thing. Well, one of the biggest things was just choosing food that was of a higher quality, that had a lot more nutrients. And so it would have a lot more nutrients and it would have fewer calories. So I didn't have to feel like I was restricting my portions or anything like that. I could eat and feel satiated and full, but I was eating good, healthy food that served my body. So that was huge, making a priority to eat nutrient-dense food. Number two, what really helped was getting over this like ultimatum. So, or this like extreme like mindset. So often I would go into like, okay, I'm gonna lose weight and I am not gonna eat any added sugar ever. And that it didn't work because then I would set these really high expectations for myself that I wouldn't eat any chips or any pasta and no added sugar, and I was just gonna eat only fruits and vegetables, and that's just how it was gonna be. And then what would happen, I would be really good for a few days, and then my roommate would like bring home some cookies and be like, do you want a cookie? And I would be like, okay, I'll have one cookie. And then I would have one cookie and then I would eat like all the cookies. Well, that's obviously not helpful. Okay, so understanding that I could have a little bit of something and not, okay, so getting rid of this whole all or nothing mentality, because if I ended up having a cookie, then to me, one cookie or 10 cookies was all the same. So understanding that one cookie and 10 cookies is not the same was huge. And obviously we can like tell ourselves like one cookie is different than 10 cookies. But in the reality, and when you set up these ridiculous expectations, it doesn't feel different, right? And so instead of trying to be perfect 100% of the time, I focused on eating really well 90% of the time. So then that gave me flexibility and movement. So if I went to a dinner party or, it was my birthday or it was a holiday, I felt like I could splurge a little on those events, but then I knew overall I was eating really well and eating nutrient-dense foods that I felt really satisfied with. So that was huge. Getting rid of this all or nothing mentality, huge. And if you have an all or nothing mentality, that is going to set you back. And you will see success if you are eating well 90% of the time. Okay, so what else worked? Also, changing my narrative and how I viewed myself. When I was in high school and I was my heaviest, I viewed myself as a heavy overweight person who would try to lose weight and couldn't. That was like how I viewed myself. That was my narrative that I told myself. So I had to change the narrative. So when I would find myself like going back and believing these things about myself, I had to, and sometimes I would just like repeat it over and over in my head, like, I am my healthy ideal weight. I feel so good in my body. I feel free. I feel so comfortable in movement. I love living in my body. I love treating my body well. And I would repeat these phrases over to myself. So I would develop this whole new belief about myself and this whole new narrative. I was no longer the person who just didn't know how to lose weight and couldn't keep it off. I was the person who felt so good and free in my body. Not only changing my narrative, but I also had to realize that when I would say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to start over. Okay, I'm going to start fresh on Sunday. All right, it's the first of the year. I'm going to be good from here on out. That basically meant I'm never going to do it. That basically meant I'm failing now. So you have to understand there is no tomorrow. I mean, that sounds like kind of dramatic, but for reals though, there is no tomorrow when it comes to making a change. All you have is this moment. And so if you choose to take care of yourself, be your healthiest in this moment, that's one choice. It's like what I say to clients, you have a vote. Every choice is a vote. You're either choosing to keep things the same or you're choosing to improve your health and, increase your overall well-being. So do you want to choose the life you want, the health you want, or do you want to choose to keep things the same? It's up to you. You get to choose. But every choice is a vote. So how are you going to vote? Are you voting for what you want, or are you voting to keep things the same? Because there is no future. All you have is that moment and that vote. And also too, when you eat these unhealthy foods, it makes it so much harder to say no to them in the future. So being like, oh, I'll start over tomorrow, but right now I'm gonna like binge on all this like chips and dip and then cookies and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's gonna make the morning when you are gonna start over so much harder to make those healthy choices. So, not helpful at all. So, don't do that. All you have is this one moment. And you know what? That can seem overwhelming. Like, okay, well, I have to do that. Don't take it, year by year, month by month, anything like that. Just focus on what you can do in this moment. And you know what? Tomorrow you can focus about tomorrow. But right now, you're going to focus about now and what will make you feel good now. All right. So, what else? I, started to increase my activity as well. So when I started moving more, I obviously felt better. And obviously, if you're wanting to lose weight, you want to increase your activity to help burn the extra calories, right? Now, when I started increasing my activity, I increased it incrementally. So I didn't just all of a sudden go from like all or nothing. Like I had done that before where I would go like all out. And I'm like, I'm going to start working out. And then it's like, I go run a 5K and then I feel like I'm going to die because I went from not running at all to running over 3 miles. Okay, that didn't work because then what would happen is like my body is so sore and tired and I don't want to exercise again for at least a week. And then by that time, like my motivation has waned and I didn't build any sort of habit or consistency. So instead of going like all out, work out a little bit and then do it every day and then slowly increase from there. So I started just walking. So when I was in college, I would park far away from the campus and then walk. And so I did tons of walking. And so I was able just to, increase my movement throughout the day. And walking was really peaceful. I really love walking. Now I look forward to my walks so much. It has become this tranquil activity that I do. And it allows me to escape. So I put in my AirPods, I play an audiobook or music or whatever, and I just go and I walk up these big hills and it feels so good and peaceful. And that's what I do. And I love it. So I started with just increasing walking and then I started doing other activities as I was, building my strength and being able to work out for longer. Then I started doing Zumba. And then recently I have gotten really into boxing and, it's this evolution, but find an activity that is fun. It's not punishment, working out is like, what do they say? Working out is a celebration of your body. And it really is because you are capable of doing all these things. And, you're this strong person and increasing your strength and your physical ability is really amazing. And so find something that you enjoy doing and do it, but start off small and then slowly increase from there so that you're not scared away from it. And also too, there were times, so I would use food for comfort sometimes, which I think a lot of people do, or a form of escape. And so I also had to focus on feeding my soul. So food was just an empty replacement. Well, it was a filling replacement, but it didn't fill my soul. It just gave me a lot of extra calories. So I had to start finding activities that I really loved. And not just like working out activities, but like follow my passions, follow my dreams, build community, develop, deeper friendships, relationships. I was holding my back from a lot of things in life. I was holding myself back from really experiencing life in the fullest. I couldn't hold back from life. I had to really dive into life and really, really feed my soul. I didn't feel like I needed to use food as that replacement. Yeah, so that's huge. Finding activities that just light you on fire, that you love to do, follow your passions, follow your dreams. Because, losing weight is one thing, but it's really about experiencing the best life that you can. Because YOLO, you only live once. So we want to make this experience as good as possible, right? And so losing weight means feeling as good as you can in your body for a lot of us. And so it's really about that. It's not focusing on a number, it's focusing on feeling the best you can in your body and allowing, nurturing your body, giving it nutritious food so that it serves you and you can do the most with it. So, kind of shifting your mentality that way, not using food as a way to escape, but using food to fuel your body so that you can live your best life, because that's really what you deserve. And, you can create these mantras to help you in the moment. So when you are feeling tempted to eat something that you know is not going to serve your body and that you don't really want, it's just a short-term thing, use these mantras. It could be, I deserve to feel well. I deserve to feel good in my body. Whatever the mantra is, repeat it to yourself because you do deserve to feel well. And you do deserve to feel your best in your body. So go for it. From my lessons personally, and then also working with clients with weight loss, I have developed what I call the 3 keys to sustained weight loss. These 3 keys are really everything that you need for sustained weight loss. And so I have a kind of an introductory description about these 3 keys and some steps that you can take today to get started. You can find that at my website at rachelalvaradonutrition.com, and you can go ahead, download the 3 keys today and get started so that you can feel your best. Okay. Also, if you are interested in making the most of your life now, losing weight, feeling the best in your body, and you would like to work with me, you can find me again at rachelalvaradonutrition.com, or you can sign up for a free 20-minute consultation to work with you on your journey and helping you feel your absolute best in your body. Okay, take care, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.